Canelo Crawford. If they do fight, what's your opinion?
It's very different weight.
The epic battle between pound-for-pound champions. According to reports, Crawford and Alvarez have agreed to compete in one of the greatest boxing events of 2025 later this year. Bud will try to pull off a major upset by going up 2 weight classes to face Canelo, the unified super middleweight champion.
There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
Crawford last competed against WBA super welterweight champion Israel Madrimov in August, when he made his 154-pound debut. After a fierce battle in which Bud may have been pushed harder than he had ever been in his career, Bud prevailed via unanimous decision to take home the championship and earn the title of 4-weight world champion. Madrimov, who has personally witnessed what it's like to fight Crawford, made his prediction in an interview with Boxing News and chose a winner without hesitation.
I think this Canelo will win.
How?
This weight class isn't the same. Canelo will prevail. I reflect on the choice Madrimov himself makes when he fights Vergil Ortiz Jr. for the World Boxing Council Interim Super Welterweight Championship next month in an attempt to overcome his loss to Bud. In addition to the Uzbek boxer, Tim Bradley, a former 2-degree world champion, has boldly predicted that one guy will beat the brakes off the other in the battle between Crawford and Canelo.
Canelo and Terence Crawford. How do you see that fight? Who do you like?
Terence.
Wow.
My friend, but it's crazy man. Listen.
But the undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk backed Terence Crawford in a much-anticipated possible fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez that may happen at the conclusion of this year or the beginning of 2025. Usyk praised Crawford's audacious decision.
Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo.
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence is different.
To fight Canelo by moving up 3 weight classes, but he also emphasized Crawford's remarkable intelligence and adaptability in the ring in an interview with the 3KR podcast. The Terrain, although Terran is a buddy of mine, he is insane. I think Terence wins, Usyk remarked. Pay attention, Terran has changed as a guy. Terran has 2 modes of operation. He is a very intelligent individual. Turki Alik has been putting a lot of effort into bringing Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford together.
Skill level of Crawford equalize the weight, in your opinion?
I think if they fought, they'd obviously be the same weight, would they not?
Yes.
A critic said that Terence Crawford still plays the same game of Terence, even when winning his own prize lotteries. Former 2-time world heavyweight champion Fury acknowledged in an interview with TNT Sports Boxing that weight was the decisive element in the fight, giving Crawford the opportunity to defeat Canelo if they had faced each other years prior in a lower division, but supporting the Mexican at super middleweight, where the fight would undoubtedly take place if it did. His accomplishments in the boxing ring. But here we have in several weight classes, Terence Crawford versus Alvarez is an extremely difficult fight. How serious would this battle be? I'll go with Canelo because I'm not sure at 168 and I'm going to pick Crawford at 140. Canelo has made it clear that he will not be losing any weight, which is consistent with Bud's intention to push himself to the maximum by reaching 168 pounds, which is 14 pounds heavier than he was at his previous workout.
Crawford going from 47 to 68.
Maybe he would bring Canelo down to 60 or 54 or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
The highly anticipated fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez appears to be set, bringing together 2 of boxing's top pound-for-pound stars. Reports suggest the mega fight was finalized after both fighters held separate meetings with Saudi chief Turki Alik in London following a year of negotiations and speculation. While Crawford is reportedly keen on the matchup, Canelo has expressed willingness to take the fight for the right price. The announcement has generated excitement across the boxing world as fans eagerly anticipate a showdown of this magnitude. However, not everyone shares the enthusiasm. Gervonta Tank Davis has now inserted himself into the conversation, suggesting he may not be as impressed by the proposed bout. As details unfold, Davis's involvement could spark additional intrigue in the lead-up to what is already being billed as one of the biggest fights in recent history. All eyes are on the ring as boxing gears up for this monumental clash.
I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering.
Calvin Ford, Davis's coach, has also given his opinion on how the fight would proceed, indicating that Davis is not a supporter of the bout between Crawford and Canelo. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez would square off in one of the greatest boxing fights ever, pitting two pound-for-pound titans against one another, but it would require Crawford to significantly increase his weight. The argument about who would prevail is still going strong. If you remember, the day that Crawford conducted his fight with his left leg, in an interview with Fight Hype, Davis's trainer Calvin Ford expressed his thoughts on the possible battle and seemed to be leaning more in favor of the Mexican.
Terence Crawford, Canelo situation, do you think that's a fight where they could get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
I mean, Canelo's the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying?
The king is Canelo. It's a good fight, and I'm interested in seeing how it turns out. Canelo has been using some effective fighting techniques lately. Ford also talked about Crawford's performance in his most recent fight, in which he defeated Israil Madrimov by moving up to 154 pounds but failed to obtain the knockout. He had never fought before. He had to modify, but you can't claim he didn't have the authority up there. It's contingent on them making changes, just like when Ben Aves gained weight. To prove it to the world, I hope Terence Crawford can have another bout at that weight. We begin to wonder whether it's not.
That fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, you know, as far as fights and whatnot, you know. So, again, he's the king, you know what I'm saying? So
Ford concluded by outlining his reasons for believing Crawford is pursuing a fight with Canelo. Terence is a mischievous boy. He wants to get into the battle, so he's going up. His age is not decreasing. While Crawford has been focusing on the battle with Canelo, he is doing everything he needs to do to leave his legacy here. Additionally, he and Teofimo Lopez have been engaged in a verbal sparring match lately, which has intensified with a new argument on social media.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look? 147? 147.
After defeating Errol Spence Jr. in their super fight at 147 pounds, Crawford made a compelling argument to become the best boxer in the sport in terms of pound for pound. When asked how the 135-pound Davis would fare against the 147-pound Crawford, Tank thought he could defeat the larger opponent in 6 rounds. 147? You are aware that he has no chance and will go to sleep. I received a round 6. Mike Tyson agrees that the startling weight difference has been a source of conflict in the boxing world.
Who knows? That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
I'm just saying, man, we can't say it's not gonna happen. We can't say that it.
I disliked that altercation. On September 20th, Tyson said on the Come and Talk to Me podcast that Crawford was waiting too long. He had a tough battle with Israil Madrim, his previous opponent, because to his size and awkwardness, he ought not to have engaged in combat with that man. Tyson is right on the money. Despite being 5'8", taller than Canelo, Madrimov had been unbeaten before their bout, and Crawford had one of his hardest battles to date against him. Given his thin build, Crawford would most likely give some strength and bulk to fight in larger weight classes. Nevertheless, Crawford thinks he is aware of what is best for his body.
Think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo.
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know, and
The secret, in my opinion, is to determine when your body is ready to advance in a healthy manner. Before facing Madoff, Crawford told Yahoo Sports, "I wanted to fight the best guy in the division, so I moved up in weight." A professional boxer's desire is unmatched, and Crawford may soon get the opportunity to challenge Canelo for the title of greatest fighter of all time. If he wins, the weight difference will just help to solidify his legend.
he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that was just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky.
When it comes to a possible bout between boxing superstars Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia has left little space for doubt. Garcia, who is well known for his provocative remarks, labeled Crawford an overhyped jerk in a recent interview, and maintained that Alvarez would win if the two faced off in the ring. Garcia did not mince words when he spoke to CBS TV, accusing Crawford of being a dull boxer who is only stealing boxing money and doesn't deserve the attention he gets. Crawford was even challenged by the young fighter, who is now serving a doping sentence, who said, "Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking expletives." Given his current ban and the controversy surrounding his failed drug test earlier this year, Garcia's comments were especially audacious. Unsurprisingly, Garcia was clear in his decision in this case, and even challenged one of the celebrities to a fight if he didn't agree.
Crawford really hasn't beat nobody other than Errol Spence Jr. that went through a car crash. Name one guy that he beat other than Errol Spence that's well known. Sean Porter that was from Wash. Who has he beat? He hasn't beat nobody, bro. He's not gonna beat nobody, bro. Terence Crawford